So, the Sheik matchup. So I sent a few clips just from, like, because I was, like, I was on my phone, I was perusing the matchup, just kind of, like, take a look, give it a once-over. I think that looking at the max set definitely makes sense. It's more recent, but I thought that those were some examples of, like, some pretty solid down throw defense. With, like, how he sets it up. Did you have a chance to take a look at any of them, or, like, do they make sense, or no?
Yeah. They made sense.
Okay.
Yeah, the second clip in particular is very good.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a situation that comes up a lot. DIing that first hit of up tilt. Am I DIing like what, like up or out or what?
Well, we can actually take a look at this. So, like, here, let me, like, share my screen real quick, and we'll take a look at this together. So this is what's going on. Let's just do this frame by frame. So here's where he gets hit.
Yeah.
And, like, it looks like he actually winds up double jumping and then DI's up, sort of. So I think the accidental double jump kind of, like, worked in his favor here. But I think that in general, the rule of thumb is smash DI up, like, once and you're fine.
Okay.
Like, I can double check that real quick, though. We have the game. We have the luxury of the game. Yeah, you too. And words, custom smash DI amount. Let's say 1 frame up. Yeah. So this is clearly what he's going for.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, like, there's nothing, like, the forward tilt doesn't even hit, and then, like, once you get the smash DI on the first hit, like, you don't get hit by the second. So you have, like, a pretty sizable window of opportunity. Like, if we make her air counter Nair, for example, like, I might be able to, like, we trade, but that, like, again, like, that's just her not fast falling, really.
Right. One last thing. Can you check if you can get shield out? Even.
Like, if she can trade a tilt, she absolutely can. Shields are active on 1. So I would say that this is I like the third clip most in terms of, like, a go-to option, because it just has, like, the least to me this has the least risk.
Right.
Because, like, sorry, not this one. It gave me the wrong clip. Whatever. Let's try this again. No, go back. Where's 4? Here we go. No, don't play in here. Play here. Yes, visit type. So yeah, I think that this one here has the most, like, all-purpose. Like, it doesn't give you a reversal, like, opportunity, but you see how far he goes, right?
Yeah.
Because, like, I think that this being the go-to, honestly, I think is, like, pretty reasonable, and I think that, like, having the other one around to, like, mix up your DI, force the Sheik to do other reactions is good, and we're still using smash DI here. Like, he's absolutely, like, doing away and down, and then, like, that's why Sheik can't, like, do anything to him after. Like, he gets hit by these needles, but he could have easily dealt with them. He could have responded.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
If she is shielding, what do you think would work better, though, than the Nair? Like, let's say you do the one that we looked at first, like the smash DI, the up tilt one. If he does shield after when you're coming down with aerials, what do you think you do instead?
So you can bomb on the shield to kind of reset the situation. Typically, like, what happens when I bomb on Sheik's shields is they try to jump and nair me, or jump forward air me out of it, but
or back air.
They actually lose that race because Samus can just instantly nair after the bomb.
True. That makes sense. I do think that sometimes Sheik can win that exchange if you have to go behind her for some reason, like maybe there's a platform constraint, because back air is a much better move at anti-airing than fair. But, like, I would agree that, like, if she has to slap or up air, then yeah, you're generally fine. One thought I'd have is we can agree that Sheik is waiting for you to. If Sheik is presenting shield, she's waiting for you to do something, right?
Right.
What if we just fast fell and wave landed?
Yep, that's another option.
Yeah, because then we can stay behind her. We play off. We basically create, like, an advantage, like a slightly advantageous shield pressure position, right? Because she's, like, willingly, like, held shields. We're now spaced outside her stuff, and probably behind her, if we want to be. So I feel like that at that point Sheik's in kind of like some hot water. We could even like fast fall into low nair. Like a bait did that to me back in the day. I think we see Luigi's do that now. It's not as good with Samus because like her nair isn't as good as Luigi's, but like it's still an option. Because low nair on block is like just quite good in general. Yeah, so I'd say that like I think one thing we might want to consider is if Sheik doesn't bite, do you want to be in the air at the end of this against her?
Probably not.
Right, so maybe it makes more sense for us to lean more towards... Like, I'm not saying never bomb, because the bombs do have utility above her. Like, and Wevans does use them. Like, Morse uses them. Everyone uses them in this kind of position sometimes. But I do think that, like, leaning towards the ones that put us back into the position that we want to be in more directly, I think it might make sense as a priority.
Yep, I agree.
All right, perfect. So, with that out of the way, we good to look at this set.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, perfect. So Wevans Max. Let me pull that up. I'm just pulling that up. Perfect. We got this. And let's take a look-see. So, I've seen you play the matchup, but, like, I think one thing I'm curious for is, like, if you can flag decisions that you see that as being better or, like, that don't, or that you want to dig into, please do so. Like, tell me when to stop at any point. Because I think that, like, you know where your weaknesses are better than I do. I have some idea, but yeah, like anything really.
Yeah, I mean the first thing is like that like after that bomb under the platform, he does like this approaching fair. Yeah, like I don't understand why this hit. Like, because I do this like when I try to do it's the classic situation of like the professional player does it and it works for them. When I do it, I get my ass fucking forward aired and die. Like, right?
Okay. So you tell me what is different? When would you be doing this jump? Like, do you think you'd do it like? Because what I see here is that like Sheik usually comes down with her aerials. She doesn't usually go up with them.
Right.
So what he's doing is he's cutting off her jump with this.
Yeah.
So when would you normally be doing this? Are you trying to like react to her? Because this is a read from him.
Yeah. No, it's like looking at it in slow motion, it's definitely a read. So, I guess I would try to be reacting to it.
Okay. Do you know that for sure, or is that like just your guess?
That's just my guess.
Okay. If you take a deep breath and consult your gut, what does it say?
It could just be like I do a ton of stuff on reaction, so part of me wants to say that, but I also do just kind of do a ton of shit like based off the vibes. So
could be either or.
It could be either or.
Which one do you think it's more of?
It's probably more me doing it off the vibes.
Okay. So that's important to know. So let's actually, when that comes up again, let's actually like look at when he, like what is happening before he decides to go for the fair. Because I think that's important to maybe it's a read on Max, maybe it's like just a good time, I don't know. But like, I think that's something worth digging into then. I would say he's like very willing to jump above. Like, one of the things I really like about his play in general is like, you see how he like nairs above his Sheik's shield in this upcoming interaction. So when he's above Sheik's shield like this, the nair still has its hitbox out because it hasn't hit Sheik. So like, it does disappear at some point and Max does get the punish, but I think that like it creates more tension by doing it that way than if we just like rising nair and like hit the shield and then like she knows that she can just hit us. And I think that Wevans does a really good job of like using that kind of like that awkward like I've had a hitbox above you and you have to make a pretty solid reaction to like punish it because I didn't make it easy by hitting your shield. I think that's one of the things that he does quite well. He kind of like it's almost like he finds a way to like it's like what Jigglypuff does with her nair of people, honestly. And then when he hits the shield, there's still an element of safety involved because like he lands on the platform quickly after. And then blocks.
I don't even know if there's an element of safety there because I think
I know that she can. I know that she can punish that. I'm just saying that like the window he's making the window as small as he can.
Yeah.
Yeah. So something I noticed is we haven't really seen the... Okay, so that one was out of a counter hit, but I was going to say we haven't really seen the fares as like a cutoff, like in neutral, since Max was at high percent. So this might just also... So this might also be a low percent thing.
Sure.
I don't know. What do you think?
Do I think it's like a low percent thing? Yeah, it probably is. Because, like, I mean, forward air, racks up damage quickly and, like, it loses value the higher percent someone is. So.
It's also a low button, low knockback, kind of like hit sort of up move. Like, that's pretty valuable at high percent. Yeah, I feel like the big thing is it's cutting off jumps or placing placing the fair where Sheik wants to, below Sheik, sort of like where Sheik wants to move in the air.
Right.
I don't know. Has there been anything that's caught your eye since caught your eye?
Yeah, there's that recovery option that Wevans does the entire set. It's cool, but. Yeah, like I said, I haven't implemented this into my kit yet, and I'm wondering. I mean, it works a ton, so like it's got to be reliable to some degree. But...
So yeah, so why do you think it works?
So, it's working here because Wevans is preserving his double jump, which is not typical standard fashion for Samus recovering at this point. He's bypassing Sheik refreshing Legend Invincibility, so he's not getting popped up. And he's just getting to recover to the ground immediately.
Let's put ourselves in the shoes of... That all makes sense. Let's put ourselves in the shoes of the Sheik player for a moment. So if you see, like, a Samus player, like, grapple the wall, like, below the stage, what do you think that she's gonna... What do you think, as the Sheik player, that Samus is gonna do?
I think she's gonna wall jump up immediately, or wall jump bomb, or wall jump something.
Some kind of wall jump trick, probably with a hitbox, right?
Yeah. So
it makes sense that he's grabbing the edge at a timing where he's secured his Galint, because then if Samus goes above him or like does the bomb, he can attack either of them.
Right.
So then what Wevans is doing is he's then playing off that by doing like this recovery.
Yep.
Because this recovery demands that you like attack right away. But because Max is like playing for his for invincibility, is managing his invincibility for options that kind of like reward you for waiting, Wevans' recovery is super successful.
Yep.
Yeah. So that might be a clue as to when to use it. Right? Like if we've been using up B, or if the Sheik seems to be timing for their edge grab for up B, provided we did the other things like conserving the jump so we can get into position, and do the recovery, like that can be a way that we can, work around that coverage. What do you notice about his say he's at 33 on this stock. What do you think? What would you be looking for at this percent?
I mean, things I'm looking for at this percent, like a down tilt or a grab to get like a quick opening to just tack on, to try and get like Sheik to around like 70%.
Okay, down tilt makes sense for that. And dig grab also, yeah.
Yeah, it's where like my hitboxes are gonna have like more of an impact.
So he's looked for stomp there. It's like dare. We've got a nair. We've got up tilt. It sounds like he's looking for similarly high reward moves. But I would say that his selection seems a little safer than yours.
Right.
Yeah, because like nair, if she DIs in, you can get other stuff. On the up tilt I think is like the up tilt's like a safer move than down tilt. Like there's less end lag after the hitbox has elapsed. Grab is like a high commit in general, and then dare is like slow, but it doesn't have a whole lot of like cooldown. That nair I really like. Those nairs I really liked. Like this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The double nair is really, it's really cool. It's not something I utilize a ton, so it's probably like we talked about yesterday. I think just rising aerials is something I don't utilize a ton in my kit, and playing yesterday and watching this set like has kind of made me realize that, and it's just something I need to.
What happens when you do them? Do they just come out too slow, or?
Yeah, I think it's so like the concept of like rising aerials is like something I'm familiar with like other games I've played, but I think like just how my hand position is on the controller, it's not something like I've actively like thought about, because my hand position doesn't feel as natural as if I was on like a PlayStation 4 controller and
Gotcha.
using face buttons for it.
Gotcha. So like, but we also noticed that using the A button was like,
the A button makes it way easier.
Okay, so that can be a point of focus. That's good. When it comes to maneuvering with you're generally good at movement, so I feel kind of like a little weird asking this, but like but whatever, because this is important for jump spacing. Do you know, like, you how good are you, would you say, at varying your jump distance? Like, because I think one of the things I noticed with him is that like he doesn't just use like that's not a, like what he just did here is not a dash jump. Like this is an in place jump.
Right.
Yeah, like he in place jump forward, but it's not full forward either. I think maybe it is, but I don't think so. Like how comfortable would you be doing something like that on the fly in a match? Like not the actual not the rising aerial part, but just like the moving with your jump like that.
I think pretty comfortable. I'm not gonna say like, oh yeah, I can do that 100% for sure, but
nobody can.
Yeah. Because like I know me over a bunch of other players, my jumps do tend to get away from me sometimes. So
okay, so about that. Mechanically, how jumping works in this game is that on the last frame of jump squat, that the game reads your direction, like where the stick is pointed. Sure. So like how far, and it only reads the x-axis. So like what I'm getting at is, if you know how controllers have the gate around them, right? You can use the bottom of the gate if you want as a guide for how far forward you want your jump to go. You don't have to necessarily like perfectly time like a soft input forward. Like you can just go forward and then like into the forward and then into a spot that like roughly approximates like how far forward you want to go. If you have notches, they work well for this for those distances. If you don't, the gate's natural like grooves or going between them is also quite good. Yeah, like there's a lot of ways to do it, but like that's basically how it works. So
right.
I would say that the getting used to that, like here, if you open up the game, like you don't have to broadcast to me, but if you open up the game and you just try that for a second, like you see what the difference is between like going into the control stick gate's natural notch versus like going full forward versus like going somewhere like some maybe between those two. Do you see a difference?
Hang on. Just boot things up.
Yeah. A quick tactile test.
Yeah, I am seeing like a little bit.
Try now. Try doing it with a dash jump.
Oh yeah.
Right? It's massive.
Right. Yeah.
And the thing is, it also works behind you too. So like if you jump forward and then like point the stick back or something like or just jump back, like all of it like same thing. You see what I mean?
Right.
I would also say I would mention this also applies to double jumps. So like you can like jump one way full momentum, like you can jump back then like double jump full momentum forward. Like there's so like as long as you have the stick in the right position, like there's so many things you can do with micro spacing with like your double jump in general and your like initial jump trajectory, and how much, whether or not you have dash momentum on it or wave dash momentum on it. Like there's a lot of depth here. So I think an important thing for you is to like play around in this space and like really working on integrating your aerials more effectively, because I think Samus is I think the air is just too important of a position at this point for us to be able to play like a pure ground character in this game. Like even fucking ice climbers are like playing the air. So yeah, this just is what it is. Yeah. Shall we continue?
Yep.
Okay. Hype. This stage sucks for Samus against her. How do your games usually go with Poseidon here? Like, where do you guys strike usually? I feel like I've seen you on like Yoshi's Yoshi's for some reason.
Yeah. So
which makes sense, to be clear, but yeah.
Yeah. So you're. Funnily enough, you're also gonna see Wevans go to Yoshi's when he loses this game. So, So my general philosophy is Poseidon. It's different in the matchup. Because there's sometimes he's like really hot on the triplats and sometimes he's really hot on the flat long stages. And like a lot of the mini game for me is like trying to figure out, what that flavor of the day is. Typically on Battlefield, he's definitely favored. I've definitely had like a couple like games where like I've beat his ass on Battlefield, but like for the most part, it's him winning. It's his primary counter pick.
Makes sense. So something I want to ask you about: what do you think about these interactions, like all these trades Wevans goes for? So it's like starting from so he gets fared here. Nair is like one close to him, because like the thing about Samus's Nair is that it is more powerful than Sheik's in the sense that like it has more knockback, so it actually puts her into tumble like a little like about like 7-ish damage before Sheik's does to her. I feel like that seems to be a common theme when I look with like their move properties in general. Like Samus is like definitely like coming out because of her weight and her weight and similar like strength, even if her combo game like similar like higher strength on her moves plus higher weight. Like, she tends to, like, get more out of the trade. So I'm wondering if there's, like, if it's worth maybe just, like, timing Nairs as your way out, like, more often when you're dealing with her early game, like, combo. Because I feel like losing your jump above Sheik, like, the easier we make it for her to just, like, space tipped back here or, like, sweep us with down tilt, like, the better her life is. And so I feel like just nairing at, like, these close range positions kind of, like, makes it harder for her to do that, you know?
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. Do you think you can be stubborn about like just nairing out of combo?
I'm a Luigi player in another life, man. I'm always trying to mash nair out of things. So.
But we want to time it. We actually do want to time it though.
Yeah, but I'm just saying my willingness to press the nair button is very high.
Good, because like I think that is like I actually do think that like the fact that he's so willing, like the only time I really see him double jump out of combos is like if Sheik is landing on the platform, he's gone all the way over here or something, or if the platform is right here, so him double jumping above the platform still has him like pretty close to it.
Right.
Because, like, this, I think, could have been disastrous if it weren't for that platform. Like, if he was on FD, doing that double jump gets him killed. But because he's on Battlefield and the platform's right there, he just, like, grazes it and he's fine again. That should have comboed. That was nonsense. I don't know how he missed that. Probably nerves. Or maybe it doesn't combo and I'm just wrong. No, I've never been wrong. That's stupid.
No, it's the game that's wrong.
It's the pro Samus player who doesn't know how to play Samus, not me. No, I'm kidding. To be fair, though, like, for a long time, the best Samus player didn't know how to play Samus, so, like...
True.
Fucking Hugo. Hugo, I maintain, was just really good at Smash Bros. Melee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can have solid fundamentals and not know how to play your character.
Or, like, not know, like, as intimately as, say, like, modern standards would require you. Yeah, like,
right.
Hugs is good at the game. He was, like, really, really, really... He was patient. He just, like, he knew his shit. God, this hurts me. Max, please! Okay. I know that, like, Max is from, like, Europe or something, and, like, they don't have many characters there and such. I have not been wowed. I have not been whelmed. I feel very whelmed by what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
So I think we're gonna see more fairs. Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about this one. So so he's clearly cutting off space, like where Max is approaching from. I want to point out that he was charging the beam beforehand. I feel like that is like something that is incentivizing his approach, Max's approach here. So that I think is a factor.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's not like the fair is a call out, but we need to incentivize. It's like a walling move, but we need to incentivize it. So charging the beam makes sense.
Yep. That I'm aware of. Like I definitely use the forward air as bait, or the charge shot as bait.
But what do you usually like go for, like when like afterwards though? Like when you cancel it, like what do you usually like try to hit them with?
Yeah, I mean depending on where they're coming from, fair, nair, tilt of some sort.
Okay, but what I'm saying, so here's my question. So is it possible that we have too many like options on that slot? Because what I'm seeing here is that like he's very much more I don't really see him like looking for like interception things with like power with like tilts or smashes unless it's up tilt. So perhaps so maybe and I think there's some wisdom in that, because like I just don't think that the reward of like hitting a forward tilt for like at low percent is really all that high. So I think that like structuring more around like the aerials, like his fair that lead, or down air that lead to things, up tilt which leads to things. Occasionally I've seen the odd grab, which makes sense, that leads to things. Like I think that like he's recognizing like his game state well, and playing off that playing off that effectively. I feel like with you tend to go for options. Like I don't know how like aware of percent you are all the time. Like when you're going for your options, like some things you go for like don't really make sense to me with the percent that that was nasty. Let's go. Like I would have gotten hit by that.
Yeah, this game's over in like 7 more seconds.
Right, but you get what I'm getting at, right? Like there's choices that I feel like don't really make sense for like high percent in your play and low percent. I'm just wondering, like, if you see, like, where he's at, like, different. Oh, my God. Because I feel like the thing that I noticed with him is his decisions are more consistent. Like, the things he goes for are more consistent based on opponent damage.
Yeah. I mean, percents are something, like, I paid a lot of percent to in my earlier days, but I definitely don't pay as much percent to, or pay as much attention to what percents my opponent is actively at nowadays.
Yeah, like that was the first down smash I've really seen from him in a while, and I feel like when do you think down smash is good? Like what percent is what situations or percents is down smash good in?
Probably like mid to low percents, like
What's the range? Like give me a range.
Yeah. I'm thinking like maybe like 20 to like 50% is like where it's like most effective.
Interesting. So why that range?
Just you're getting like good knockback on you're getting good knockback on the down smash. You're not blasting them like a million miles away, so you can still get some follow-ups.
I have a. Do you think you need like? So here's what my question would be. Do you think if she's crouching, it'll break her at 0?
It's probably gonna hit into the second hit.
So like my question would be is like, if it's like so powerful that it like breaks crouch cancel at 0 and like knocks them up, like wouldn't we like want to play for that as early as possible? Like so few moves do that.
Yeah, I mean you're definitely right. Like I mean I'm not saying I'm not down smashing at lower percents.
But you said it's ideal, and I'm saying like this is so good. I said like I asked you what the ideal percent is for like this move, and you said 20. But I'm saying like it's one of the only moves that does this to crouch at 0. Like isn't that worth something?
yes, like it's not worth something, but like
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I've been burned by a lot of down smash stuff, especially at lower percents. So
I mean, yeah, like, it is, like, so what do you mean by burned? Like, what does being burned mean in this context?
Just, you know, them reacting with a shield early, or, you know...
They're not reacting, they're reading. They can't react to down... It hits on 6.
Right.
You think that people can react to your down smash?
No, I'm using the wrong word, man.
Okay.
Like...
But, like, but it's important, because, like, if you're telling me, like, those concepts are completely different.
Right.
Yeah. Like, I am trying, like, Monk, I'm trying to understand. All I want to do is understand what the thought process is and, like, engage with it. That's it.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. So, you've been burned too many times going for that move. So, that's probably why the other moves are in there, right? Like, we've seen him do down tilt, we've seen him do up tilt. Those are both, like, really solid on shield. Like, heck, we're seeing that play out right now. Like, that, we got this. I would say, like... you're like if you're being burned for going for down smash, I think that doing it more sparingly is like probably appropriate, but like I still think we need to be able to recognize when it is most likely to be like when it is going to be better than our other tools. Like you saw how low he was and like what it's given him, right?
Yeah.
Like the power is a utility. And I would say that you're right about like the higher range of the percent. I'd say about 50 does make sense, because like I think like it's around like 60-ish or so that like your up tilt starts to become if you have the beam, starts to become a better edge guard than your down smash if you can hit it, because yeah, you get beam and stuff. Like same with the stomp. So like the percent range makes sense. Like all of that makes perfect sense to me. But it's just like we want to define it as like accurately. When would you say that like on that note? When would you say F tilt is good?
Probably in the higher end of the percentages, so like let's go with like I don't know, like 40 to like 80 is
it's probably whenever it knocks over, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so have you ever seen this website before?
Yeah.
Okay, so all the knockdown percents are here. If you wanted to, so the ASDI down percent is going to be like whatever with the knockdown percent, right? So I would say in this case, it's Sheik is 49. So roughly where you said. Like it also is going to have stuff like dash. It's also going to have stuff like dash attack, which I believe is further up. Yeah, we can see why this is preferable to forward tilt. Like once we can actually hit, like once this knocks over and we can actually like lean into that's why this replaces forward tilt like pretty early out of our down throw combo when she DIs away.
Right.
Yeah. Like I really think like the biggest thing like because I feel like you can do a lot of the moves he's doing. I feel like the biggest thing that separates you is really just like how he chooses to like exit disadvantage, which you covered, and just like being more like a little bit more structure in terms of what he goes for at his different percents. There's a lot of ways you can go about like doing that, but I'm happy to like set and like jot out some like general rules of thumb or ranges with you. But I also want to know, is this something that you think that you'd like? Is this a way to approach the problem that you think that you can do and be like happy with? Because it's not. I know that you like to play a little bit more by vibe, and I'm concerned this might be somewhat antithetical to that.
Yeah, I mean. I ultimately don't think it matters what I want to do. It's a matter of what's right and what's not. So
there are many paths to being good, right? But like that doesn't mean that we can't take into consideration the thing is if this game isn't fun to play, we won't play it. So no. At the same time, I'm not saying that we can I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that we can avoid looking at percents forever. Or that we can avoid structure completely. That's ridiculous. If you want to get better, this is needed. But I would say that there are ways to make it less like less cut and dry, or more like, or acknowledge that there's going to be like, you know, fringe cases. It all, yeah. Basically, there's ways that we can approach this that are laxer, but I just need to know what your level of receptiveness is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm down if we can get like a breakdown of, you know, percentages and ranges and things like that. I'd definitely be open to it, because like, yes, like, you know, like all roads lead to where you're going, and like there's multiple ways to be good at the game, but like at a certain point, like, I mean, I'm aware of the fact that like if I need to be good at the game, I have to do things outside of my comfort zone, and like I can't just stay doing this forever, because it's not working for me. So something needs to change. Okay.
So with that in mind, let's define some general rules of thumb that we can use here. So in terms of like low percent tools, like Samus, percent structure, Samus move selection bracket by percent, by general percent. So like, let's say like low, would you say we define low percent? Like, what is the key thing that separates low percent, mid percent, and low percent in your opinion, in the context of Samus's kit? If you're not sure what that means, I can give you an example of how I do it with Sheik.
Sure. Let's hear it.
So basically, early game to me is defined as the point in the game where our key tools are not activated yet. So it's characterized by like a lot of hit and run. If there are tool like big like powerful open ups, they tend to be somewhat like, there tend to not be many of them. So what I would say with Sheik is like, it's the percent before her like back air knocks over, before her forward tilt knocks over, before her dash attack knocks over, it's really, dash attack's kind of risky still even after that. So it's really like when her back air knocks over, when her forward tilt knocks over. Yeah, like it's around that general ballpark. So with her against like Spaceys, I'd say it's around 26. Against Samus, it's probably around like 30. Peach, maybe 29. But you see what I mean? Like, it's the point of the game where like the fighting is characterized more by like chip, hit and run, and like there might be specific open ups like needle grab that like lead, or like fair needle onto platform, run off fair grab. There might be some like powerful setups that lead to things, but they tend to be like somewhat, they're not many of them, generally speaking.
Right.
So what's the tool that like takes Samus, what's the tool that lets Samus like start like doing more, like, you know, being a little bit more active about what she's looking for, I guess, is how I define it.
Yeah, sure. So, probably grab, forward air, down smash,
up tilt.
Yeah, up tilt.
Dare.
Yeah, dare.
This makes sense, because like, yeah, this is also how like this is actually pretty in line with how Fox works. Because, like, Fox has, like, basically leans on a multi-hit, powerful, like, there's a powerful smash attack, there's a powerful up air in there, which we don't have, but we have our dare instead. Grab. Like, you kind of see how this is, like, coming together. Like, our early game tools are, like, usually things that interact well with crouch cancel, or ASDI down, because, yeah, they're at full power at the start of the stock.
Right.
Yeah. So what would you say? What would you say is at mid game? When would you say mid game begins? Like, when do these things really start to come alive? I think it might have to do with our aerials, honestly. I'm thinking it's around when our Nair starts to like do things.
Sure. Mm-hmm. I can get behind that.
Yeah, like Nair, and maybe when our like weak hit back here can do stuff as well. Because I think that like, this is a common thing with characters. Like, around the mid-game is when you start to see a little bit more emphasis on, like, 1-2 punches. So, like, this is where Sheik is a little bit more likely to go to, like, fair F-tilt. This is where you're going to see Marths do, like, you know, descending fair into, like, up-tilt, or, like, descending fair into, like, a rising fair or Nair. It has a lot to do with the aerials. Like, I'd say Marth's magic percent is usually around, like, somewhere in the 20s. because that's when his fair knocks over. And before that, we would see like more down tilts, and like we'd see more like down tilts from him and nairs and grabs and stuff. Right. Maybe fair if the opponent goes into the air, but like they only do that if but like otherwise, because the tipped fair doesn't knock over, it's not safe on ASDI down. So yeah, they have to actually be in the air. So let's see here. When does nair do its thing? I'm looking at fight core, and it looks like around 30. 30 seems to be about the number. Like it varies a little bit from character to character. Like space, like on Mario it's 33, so Sheik gets a little bit sooner because she's lighter than him, so it's like 31. Fox is 27, Falcon's 34. So I think that 30-ish. So I think that like 30-ish is a good number, because if I look at the weak hit back air, which would be another key move here, it has very similar percents. Like Mario is at 29, Sheik is at 27, Falcon's at 29. So yeah, like 30-ish. And I would say that like the moves unlock, like what would you say the moves, like we said nair and bear, but like what other moves are important in mid game?
Probably down tilt.
I'd agree with that. Yep. What else? I'm just doing it so you can see the list.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm realizing I'm doing this badly. Give me 1 second. I just share my screen.
You're good.
No.
Forward tilt.
Yeah. Forward tilt. I feel like is on the later end. Do you think forward tilt's here?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like it's here, but it's definitely like on the back end of things.
So how when is forward tilt good? Like let's actually look at this rather than going off vibes. Since we're doing this together, let's actually like take a look.
Yeah.
Okay, it is lower than I thought. Like 49.
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be like Falco's or something, but then I was like, realized how stupid that was, because yeah, Samus's forward tilt's way better than Falco's. So yeah, with that in mind, so yeah, I would include F tilt, and I would say that like F tilt, and then I would say like higher end. Cool. And then how do we feel about dash attack?
Yeah, dash attack's good at mid%.
Yeah, I think this makes sense. Are any of the moves in the above category still good?
Yeah, I'd say kind of all of them are still good. Down air, like you start to get better follow-ups. You can start like getting like forward smash, chart shot, things like that out of it. Grab even. Same thing with up tilt. Up tilt also, if you catch them in the air, starts knocking them really far away.
Perfect.
Yeah.
What would you consider the end of mid%? So late game. So this would be transitioning into late game. How I define late game is the point at which our like combos tend to become restricted again. So like we have like setups, but they tend to be limited in scope. You might have like it's the Marthritis percent basically.
Right. Yeah, I'd say it's very character dependent, but like I'd say probably like 70-80.
That makes sense. That's roughly what I estimated in. Like so late low percent, high percent. So high percent, we'll say care dependent versus floaties. Let's say floaties I'd say it's probably around 60, right?
Yeah.
60-ish, and other more 60-ish mid fallers. Actually, yeah, like fast fallers are more like 90-ish, and then like 90-ish. Everyone else is 70 to 80-ish. This makes sense. It's a little long, but that's okay. We'll separate it like that. And then like, what would you say our move selection is? Like our good moves here.
Tilts get a little bit of boost. Forward tilt, up tilt. Down tilt kind of falls off at higher percents.
Agreed.
Be honest, I think.
F smash.
Yeah, F smash.
Bear.
Yeah, bear, down smash.
I think the down smash is like it's okay.
It's losing value, but it's like it's still good for what it does, right? Like
it's more of a versus float. Like I'm gonna say versus floaties, because like it is like floating, like actually non-fast. Well, no, because you still can DI trap. I would say that like down smash, but it's like we can acknowledge like we just know that it is less good. I feel like Nair also makes sense to include here.
Yep.
Yeah, and then grab because we can still like down throw dash attack, down throw F tilt sometimes. And dare, cool. So what do you notice about the moves that are always here?
They're the good ones.
Okay. Do you know how little I see you do these moves?
So I mean, I would say I down air a ton. I would say.
Yeah, that's one of them.
Yeah, I would say I dash attack a ton, I down smash a ton, I nair a ton.
I feel like what is a ton here? Because I feel like you go for like other stuff way more often, like a lot more, like, or rather, I feel like you go for other stuff almost as frequently as you go for those moves. I don't really see you up tilt. I see you dare in combos, but like the thing about that I would point out about Wevans is he's also doing it in neutral.
I'm doing dare in neutral too.
Oh, he's me.
We played like 5 games yesterday. I feel like I use dare to a detriment, honestly, if anything. Like,
when do you think you so I know we've gone over time, but it's fine. You pay me, like, it's all good. I am curious. So why do you if it's to your detriment? What do you think? Because like I don't think it's to Wevans' detriment, and I don't think it's to like when he's playing Samus. Like Plup does dare a lot too, and I feel like their dares are definitely not to their detriment. So I'm curious as to what you think. Like one thing I would consider is, you know that short hop nair he did over like Max's shield.
Yeah,
I feel like those are one of the missing ingredients. Because like I feel like because if you see a Samus jumping over you, right, and they're usually nairing. Or they're often nairing, and you can't really like jump at a shield and challenge it right away. I feel like if Samus like mixes up in that spot with like the down air, that's like actually really good. You see what I mean? Because you're kind of like creating like the opportunity for like a descending aerial.
Right.
Yeah. Do you think that's something that you would be up for applying in 2 matches, like the short hopping over table? Perfect. I think there are some people playing in the mountaintop. Or we can hop into unranked or something. But I think that like I want to see you actually try it so we can like diagnose, because I know that this is an area of the game that you're not super comfy with.
Sure.
Hell yeah. We'll just end at 3. If that's cool with you.
Yep, that's cool with me.
Hell yeah. Darnell plays so weird. I played him with Peach, and I was just like, what is he doing? I don't understand. It reached a point where I was just like full hopping around with Farrah, and I was like, what am I doing? What is life? What is this? Do you ever have that?
Alright, broadcast working.
I don't see anything coming through, but I was in Uncle Punch. Let me launch it again. Oh wait, I had it open, my bad. And now it's not, okay, now it's opening. Hopefully we're working. Nothing yet. Do me a favor, let's just disconnect it and reconnect it, because I think that me mucking about in Uncle Punch like messed it up.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm opening it again, and hopefully it comes through. Yep, we're good. It's kind of weird. It's kind of interesting how like she's changing so much, but she's still like such a positionally heavy character. I like that even as she's like using the air more. She hasn't lost that part of herself.
I mean, yeah, like it's. I feel like it's really hard too with like what her F tilt and up tilts are.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what I mean. Like it's like Luigi is gonna change. Luigi's a fucking air character now. It's crazy. Like, Rap Monster's style is so much better than any other Luigi's. It's like baffling to me how he's like. So when he's shielding, like, but I'm gonna challenge his short hop near over him, and then come down the other side with like something. Or yeah, and like if you go for grabs and stuff, that's fine too. But like, let's actually try to like implement the thing and like see what we can do with it.
That was just butterfingers on my part. He should have been fucking cooked.
I'm like that you're holding down more. So like, yeah, mistake here and there, but like, yeah, I can see that you're actually like implementing the changes. Nice, love that. Damn, you did that raw. No Galint. Hell yeah. So now we're entering late game, so like let's focus on the late game options. Down tilt falls off at this %. Let's look for like F smashes, let's look for up tilts, F tilts. Let's actually use like F tilt in late game a lot more, I think. Because it's really good for knocking. We just need to knock people off stage and edge guard them. So remember, he's in mid game. Like what game state we are is defined by his %, not ours. So like,
I know.
Yeah, but we're going for F tilt like way below like when it's good though. That's what my point.
Yep.
So like F tilt at 50. F tilt at 50 plus. I have a feeling he's not sticking around.
Nope. They're gone.
Call it a hunch. Try. Let's look for more up tilts when we're in those like positions where they're like where they did like a relatively safe aerial and we're not sure what to do about it. Yeah, see, there, like, you try to force it. I would have just moved back. I would have said wave dash back up tilt there. Like, I think the big thing is we don't want to be attacking out of our shield so much directly. Yeah, so when you went on to the other side of him, you come back air on the way down. After the nair. So you can apply more pressure to his shield. Nice. Damn. I liked a lot of the stuff you did, though. What do you think?
Yep.
Try waiting for the shine when you do your... Wait for the shine when you're blocking. And then wave dash out of shield on the shine. Falco's not bad. Hmm?
Let's get one more game, right?
Yeah.
So you're out of 3.
Yep. When you're doing your out of shield options, something I notice is that you kind of just like when you choose to move out of shield is kind of a little weird to me. Against spacies, I recommend just letting the shine hit your shield and then like going after that, in general. Because the thing is like the shine has a set timing to it. We're getting sucked into like going for things that aren't really particularly strong at this percent. Oh, what the fuck? Randall, no! Oh, you can up tilt there. Up tilt hits through the platform.
Oh my god, come on.
I like the idea. Hell yeah. Well, I think one thing you might want to think about is where you go between stocks. Oh, hell yeah, that's game. Oh, never mind. Miss fastball. Alright, very good. So with that, we are at time. Yeah. Anything else you want to go over, or do you think we're good for now?
No, I think we're good.
Okay. Take care, Monk.
Alright, take it easy.
Alright, later.